is your favourite newsreader out there? Because that's obviously the only TV you watch.
I find them all very, very annoying. I find Mary Nightingale very annoying.
She's great.
Do you know her?
No.
She begins every sentence very lowly and then goes and becomes louder at the end. And then she begins the next sentence very quiet and then she goes... And you think, for God's sake.
I'll stick one out there. Nina Hussain. Woo!
What, you like her, do you?
She's brilliant.
Oh.
I like her a lot.
Very good. Has she replaced Terry Wogan for you?
No, of course not. No one replaces Wogan. But I think for an ITN newsreader, she's pretty much my favourite. Hey, listen, we need to talk about Coronation Street while you're here. You don't like Corrie anymore.
How do you know that?
I just read it a couple of times, but you still watch it.
How do you know that?
I read it a couple of times.
Do you read?
Yeah, I read and I research.
Really? Well, it's certainly changed. I loved it when I was small. I loved it in the 70s. I thought it was very witty. And I thought the characters were very good because they almost had posh Manchester voices. Mm-hmm. They aspired to escape this cobbled street, but now they've gone right back and everybody has a hump and they're all mutants and they have funny voices and it's all a little bit trick cyclist and circus act.
You still watch it though, right?
Yes, but I don't understand how all those people could live in a small street and all those people could go into a pub every single night and none of them have cars. I mean, can you name one street on the planet that you can go down now which isn't chock-a-block with cars?
But surely that's always been the way in terms of the EastEnders is exactly the same thing.
Is it?
Yeah, in that anyone that does a white-collar business goes into the pub and orders a scotch at lunchtime.
Oh, I know, it's very predictable. Everybody gets a job behind the bar.
Yeah.
And everybody immediately has sex with somebody else. And nobody ever says, no, I will not sleep with you.
Yeah.
Which is just like life, of course.
But there's something wonderful about that, surely. I mean, do you want Corrie to be gritty realism or do you want Corrie to be romanticised?
I think Shameless is how Coronation Street would have been if Coronation Street would have progressed, really. Mm. I think that's how Manchester people are now. But I don't think they're like Coronation Street people. It's just not a joke. It's a circus.
Would you go on it if they asked you? Come on, you've got to.
They have asked me.
Why wouldn't you?
I was asked on EastEnders Emmerdale because it was great.
I would love to see you on Emmerdale. Here, who's that new sheep farm I've come across the moors? Oh, that's Morrissey. You should go on Corrie. Go on, Morrissey.
Well,
because
what would I do? What part would I play?
I think you'd be you. You know, when Boris went on EastEnders,
I couldn't manage that.
You could.
I couldn't be convincing as me.
It would be so good for you to just like let your hair down a little bit.
If I went to audition to be me, I wouldn't get the part.
Listen, I want to talk about your fans because you are. Well, actually, you, my best friend Joseph Griffin, and the label for The Queen is Dead encouraged me to do my first and only shoplift in the world from Arprush Records.
Yes.
In the 80s.
Well, what did you shoplift?
I shoplifted not the cassette, but the cassette cover of The Queen is Dead because I wanted to take it home.
Well, that was why we came in at 2 and not 1.
Yes.
Because your sale didn't register. So thank you, Dermot.
You're welcome. But what I'm trying to get at is the fact that your fans are very committed.
They're very serious. Yes, they're very dedicated, and they support me greatly. And they're here till the day I drop dead, mm-hmm. which might be sooner than later.
Come on.
What do you mean? Come on, drop dead, please.
Yeah, hurry up. No, come on. You're in great shape. What's the matter with you?
I don't know.
What's your workout regime?
I just avoid food, really.
Okay, if I was going to come around Morrissey's house, which the way this interview's going is a definite possibility, what's going to be on the menu? What are you going to cook? Are you a good cook?
I'm a very, very good cook, yes. But I don't cook. I don't cook.
Well, what do you eat then?
I mean, I know
you
have an octopus restaurant in Brighton.
Oh, here we go. I knew this was going to come up.
Did you really think you could get away with it?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Well, no. What would you cook for me if I came around? And what veggies are on the go around Morrissey's house at the moment?
It's very difficult. I don't cook for other people.
You didn't know other people.
I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. Probably just fruit and muesli, and that would make you very happy, I'm sure. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. You don't need an octopus. You really don't.
I'll pass it on. Okay. Who was your Morrissey when you were younger? Who was the person that you listened to, looked up to, idolised?
Well, I started very early. I loved pop music very early, and I was obsessed with singers like Clem Curtis, who you don't know. He was a singer in the Foundations. Mm-hmm. And then when I became 12 and 13, I liked people like David Johansen and Patti Smith and so forth. But I loved pop music. I loved pop. I always did.
But in terms of like how people are obsessed about you, is there anyone that you absolutely obsessed about when you were?
I obsessed about really anybody I liked, but I don't think there was a me figure that I trotted after. I don't think so. I can't remember a Morrissey and Herman's Hermits.
And were you, like you said, your parents were, and like you said, they're still alive, but your parents were young. Were they into stuff that you just sort of, were they young enough for you to go, oh, I'll have that and I'll listen to that and I'll out to my room?
No, never. I discovered everything. I went out and I bought and I bought and I bought and I stuck my nose in where it wasn't wanted and I just loved music. I still do. You
still do. You don't get any new stuff. You don't want to. You're not interested.
No,
in
but there's
stuff.
lots of music out there that isn't new. That is fantastic.
But do you not think that new music can be good?
It can be good, but I don't feel obliged to simply say I like recent music in order to not seem to be cranky.
No.
Which I think lots of people do that when they reach a certain age. They don't want to seem as if they're begrudging others their chance, and you can very easily sound like an old crank. But I don't feel obliged to say I like anybody who I don't like.
I'm going to play Interlude, may I?
No.
Why
Yes.
not?
Oh, please, yes.
Why?
I'm just so...
One, two. Go on, you just say what?
I'm just so automated to saying no. Yes, please play Interlude.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And crank it.
isn't it?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm just sort of putting it out there. But if you agreed, I'd be over the moon.
I think it's quite nice. Yes,
Lovely.
quite nice.
Lovely is what it is. Morrissey, where does your inspiration for writing come now?
From the world around me, nature in the raw, nowhere else. I just soak the whole thing up.
But you know, the lovely thing, and the thing that the testament to you is the fact that it's not 2 albums, and it's not just a lifetime of teenage angst. You've matured, and
it's called perseverance,
yeah.
Dermot. It's called perseverance. I mean, there's been many instances when I really should have ran down the stairs, but I believe.
And in terms of the writing and recording process, do you go through, I mean, are you superstitious, or do you go through exactly the same kind of, this works for me, so I'm going to take myself away even more than I do on a day-to-day basis, and go and,
No.
write an album on a cliff top somewhere? Or?
No, never. No, nothing ever changes. I just do it as it splurts out of me.
When are you going to do some new stuff? Are we going to have new stuff soon?
Yes, very, very soon. Yes, I have an album. I don't have a label, but I have an album. So I'm seeing if anybody wants me.
Do you need a label to put out an album?
I'm old-fashioned. I want to be institutionalised. I want to be behind the bars. I don't want to do anything I don't want to join a cottage industry and sell things from the back of a van.
Yeah.
So yes, I'd like to be institutionalised. As I am.
And what about the tour? Are you looking forward to that? Because you've picked some pretty out there places. My friend is from Dunoon, and you're playing Dunoon.
Yeah.
And you have to get a boat to go to Dunoon.
Do you really?
Uh-huh.
Oh God, I wish somebody.
Is that Dunoon? Oh no,
I wish somebody had told me that.
That's Dunoon out of the equation, is it?
No.
It's not a big boat. It's a little boat. Did you pick these?
Yes, I did.
Why did you go for sort of?
Because when you've
relatively
when
out
you've
there,
played,
I like the fact
when
you
you've
have.
played for many years, you don't want to keep returning to the same venues, so you try to vary it slightly, and so you find yourself slightly off the circuit, and that's the only reason. It's to make it interesting for the people who come, and it's to make it interesting for me also. Because when you've played the same venue for 4 times, 5 times, and the night has been fantastic, then you're tempting fate by returning for the 38th time. So,
all right. And are you going to stick around these places afterwards and meet people? And
are you joking? No, I'm like lightning.
Hey, it's very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
It's
Likewise.
been really difficult, but I've really enjoyed it.
I found it so difficult.
Right, yeah.
Really.
Well, just because you haven't
I knew you were from
because you haven't answered any questions.
And as soon as I knew that you read,
and
I found it very
take anything seriously.
And I'm going to keep talking as well. And you're trying to be Mary Nightingale, starting very lowly. See.
Nonsense now.
You don't rule the world, Dermot.
Yeah, but I'd rule this little corner of it because I can press
What a boast.
Because I can press buttons like this.
Well, thank you.